girl alone in the woods, dead bodies at her feet as screams echo from behind a pounding door. What's on the other side?
Carrie, what's behind the door? Nightmares. Your worst nightmares.
You don't want to know. But I do, and that, ladies and gentlemen, is our theory today. Hello, Internet! Welcome to Film Theory! Wait a minute, what is behind that door? What is it? What is it? Oh no, it's horrible. Oh, Carrie was right. It is my worst nightmare. Kill it! Kill it with fire! Kill it! Whew, that is much better. But some threats aren't so easy to deal with. For an example, look no further than Peacock's newest original series, The Girl in the Woods. A series produced by the Masters of Fright, our good friends at Crypt TV. For those of you who don't remember the last time we talked about Crypt 2 years ago, they are, in my honest opinion, the best in the business when it comes to modern day monster movies. They're known for creating short horror films filled with original creatures and uploading them onto places like YouTube and Facebook. The end result? Lots of gore, lots of scares, and lots of nights spent sleepless with the lights on. And pretty much all of it is done with practical effects, not CGI, which gotta say is just so refreshing. In this brand safe world of content that is 2021, Crypt just isn't afraid to get up in your face and legitimately terrify you. And then, you know, bite your face off. I don't know what sort of budgets they operate on, but the team over there have been making incredible stuff for, I'm sure, a fraction of what they're actually worth for the better part of a decade now, which I gotta say is why I'm so excited to see one of their stories, The Girl in the Woods, get the attention of NBC's new streaming service Peacock to receive the green light and budget to get made into a full series of 9 episodes. Go Team Digital! So now that they're equipped with more time and more money, what I want to know is what to expect. What horrors do they have in store for us, and how is this new project going to connect to the MCU? Not that MCU, the Monster Cinematic Universe. You see, not only have they created dozens of original, terrifying new horrors since 2015, including The Look-See, The Birch, Soot, Mordeo, and the Sunny Family Cult, but they've taken it one step further by connecting all of them. Thanks to small little Easter eggs and references, we know that pretty much all of their twisted tales intertwine in some way, and The Girl in the Woods is no exception. See that symbol right there in that mysterious door that very clearly acts as the only thing protecting humanity from whatever bloodthirsty sharp-toothed creature is pounding away on the other side? Yeah, that is the iconic happy face of the Sunny Family Cult, which in turn dominoes its way into, well, I'm getting ahead of myself. So today we're getting ready for Halloween by doing a deep dive into the scariest connected universe that's out there, Crypt's Monsterverse, to see what deadly surprises await on the other side of that door in the upcoming new episodes of The Girl in the Woods. Let's start with what we absolutely know. This new streaming series on Peacock seems to be an updated take or retelling of the original Crypt two-parter, The Door in the Woods and The Girl in the Woods, so those seem like a solid place to begin. In these videos, we follow the story of a young girl named Carrie, who, along with her friends, makes the itty-bitty, eensy-weensy mistake of accidentally opening an ancient portal to a demonic dimension, unleashing a bloodthirsty monster that wipes out her entire village. You know, classic coming-of-age stuff, hashtag relatable. The monster in question is the Brute, a hulking, unstoppable beast that rips through anyone it meets. And if you think they're safe just because they're kids, well, you haven't seen Crypt TV, have you? As the body count piles up, we learn that Carrie's village isn't just any secluded cult living in the woods, it's actually a group of protectors called the Colony, united in the sole purpose of defending the world from whatever horrors exist behind the door. And, I mean, not to speak too ill of the dead, but you kind of blew that one, guys. You had one job, and now you're all dead.
But we in the Colony have a job to do.
What are you doing, Dad?
We're the only ones that can protect the world from the door.
It's never explicitly mentioned, but it appears that Carrie's father is one of, if not the leader of the Colony based on his red outfit. He is, not a great guy, practically using his daughter as bait to get the Brute back behind the door, but don't worry about it, the Brute is more than happy to tackle him into whatever heck dimension exists on the other side. Carrie manages to close the door, but loses her arm in the process. She passes out in front of the door due to blood loss, and on that uplifting image of a child slowly dying, the first video ends. The sequel largely expands on the first, checking in with Carrie 7 years later. We get more clarity on both the door and the Colony.
It's like a wound, an open wound, a tear. Creatures can pass through it. It was the job of the Colony to maintain that bandage.
We see that Carrie's missing arm has been replaced with a metal one, complete with matching assassin's blade. We also learn that not only is she a talented artist, but she's also a jaded monster hunter, burdened with regret over her innocent childhood mistake. I mean, it was a mistake that cost nearly a dozen of her closest friends and family their lives, but still. Conquering the brute appears to be her white whale, as she repeats the mantra over and over again.
Brute, come out of your old spirit of living, one more soul.
By the end of the video, she opens the door again to confront him, and 7 years of training amount to nothing. She immediately gets dunked on, losing yet again to the brute. And this time, he's left to roam free, so not a great plan there, Carrie. The story ends with her committing to hunting it and other monsters down like a modern-day Van Helsing. I mean, you literally have a glowing magic blade built into your arm, so not going that route would just kind of be a waste. Now, like I mentioned, some part of the new Peacock series seems to be a retelling of these events. Notice the new actress playing Carrie and the new look of the door. But while it has a new look, a lot of the key details appear to be the same. Carrie is still equipped with a false hand and hidden blade. In brief flashes, we see what appears to be the brute. It looks like she's continued her pencil art hobby, and again, we hear about the importance of the colony.
My colony and all of our practices exist entirely to protect the world from the awful things beyond that door.
As such, I would expect this new series to hit on many of the same beats as the original source material. Carrie is the daughter of the colony's leader who accidentally unleashes monsters from behind the door, losing her arm in the process. Regretting her mistake, she becomes a demon slayer to make things right. That, I assume, will form our base story. I know I've joked about this before, but it really is a coming-of-age story. Story about growing up and coming to terms with your identity and past actions. But based on the fact that the trailers now show Carrie headed to a city called West Pine, it looks like some normal civilians are going to be wrapped up in all this too, putting additional stakes on Carrie's monster hunting. But it's the potential for wider monsterverse stuff that gets me really excited. What other monsters can Crypt pull in, and what other world building elements are they going to be teasing? We see here in the trailer that Carrie is flipping through some sort of tome, a giant book of monsters that, at least in the online series, serves as one of the major connective threads throughout the entirety of Crypt's universe. Same with the door. While the design seems to have visibly changed in the new Peacock series, notice how there's fewer etchings, I wouldn't be surprised if this was only for the trailer to cover up some Easter eggs that might be coming later, kind of like how Marvel is always altering their trailers to hide key plot details. In fact, the titular girl in the woods, Carrie, was set up to be the de facto monster hunter of the entire franchise. Throughout the Girl in the Woods video, we're given teases about a mysterious briefcase that Carrie isn't allowed to touch.
1, that you never let anyone open that door. And 2, that you never touch this briefcase.
But when her mentor dies, she opens it up only to find a mysterious diagram with the word Monsino watermarked across it. The next item she pulls out is a map of the US labeled, once again, Monsino. So let's start off with that first diagram. It's a bit difficult to read, but by pausing and enhancing like an FBI agent, we can see that this is meant to be a schematic for the Plane of Torment, realm of the monsters. We can assume then that the colony's mysterious door is a portal between the real world and this monster/nightmare realm. And that's not all. The mention of the word torment here is important because it connects back to glowing purple rock fragments called torment fragments scattered throughout the Crypt universe. You see, throughout Crypt series, we see repeated use of glowing purple energy. In the spider-themed Miss Anity, we see a glowing purple spider descend from the ceiling, and another one crawl across the screen while we look at her victims. In Water's Edge, we see a deposit of purple rocks near a haunted pond, and most explicitly, in Camp Monster, we see a young boy being tortured by one of these purple rocks, which then transforms him into a boar-like monster. In fact, the original video of Girl in the Woods flashes us to this very scene from Camp Monster.
These rocks are from the portal. Some of the creatures are created directly from the portal, others are created right here on Earth with the help of these rocks.
These purple rocks are the Torment shards, which, as the name implies, connects them back to the door and to the Plane of Torment. Even Carrie's blade is made using that glowing purple energy, which is apparently powerful enough to scare away the brute. So it would seem that the energy of the portal is both powerful enough to create new creatures and also destroy them when put into the right hands. So already you can start to see how the Girl in the Woods Peacock series has the potential to be a hub of the rest of the MCU, with the mysterious evil door and its torment energy acting like a source for so many other of the franchise's monsters. But it also extends way beyond this. To understand why though, let's look at the other secret from that briefcase, the Monsino map. The name most directly connects it back to the Crypt TV one-off Taste, which is all about a suburb that's transformed into cannibals via corrupted meat.
Got your free sample here from Monsino Farm!
No wonder they say there's no such thing as a free lunch. Yeah, it's a little bit too camp for my taste. But as Carrie's map shows, Monsino has their hand in other industries as well, including pharmaceuticals and biotech. Pay close enough attention and you'll see that Monsino's therapeutics division is creating monsters under the brand name Somnodyne. See the Monsino logo on the pill bottle from Dream Screechers? And wouldn't you know, both the pills and the monster's glowing eyes happen to be purple, just like the Torment fragments, and just like purple guy William Afton in Five Nights at Freddy's. I don't know why purple is the universal color of evil, but apparently it is. In short, Monsino appears to be harnessing the energy that exists behind Carrie's door, or who knows, other doors just like hers, to create addictive and deadly products. And it looks like they might not be the only ones trying to harness that energy. Let's go back to where it all started, the door in the woods. As I mentioned earlier, the original design for the door featured the happy face symbol representing the Sunny family cult, Crypt's second longest running series and the other major hub connecting the wider monsterverse. On the surface, this is just a story of a girl trying to live a normal life with her not so normal family of serial killers. But the narrative also heavily features prophecies from an ancient tome of monsters. Ancient tome of monsters, you say. Now, where have I seen something like that before? Oh yeah, the Girl in the Woods trailer. The reappearance of the tome in the trailer is why I suspect that the Sunny family cult symbol is still on that door, just edited out of the trailers, or maybe it's coming later in the series when a cult member visits the door. As I talked about in our previous Crypt TV theory about the look-see, season 3 of the Sunny family cult focuses on the character Roger, as he tries to carry out a demonic ritual from the book meant to transform him into a new creature. Specifically, the tome calls out that there must be 5 blood sacrifices, and the 5th has to be performed by a 17-year-old girl with dark hair and dark eyes.
I saw it in visions. A beautiful girl of 17. Violence etched into her soul. You'll be the one who helps me transform into something greater than myself. Something stronger and more pure.
And by the season's end, he's done it. He finds a dark-featured girl who's willing to stab him in the chest. In the final shot of Sunny Family Cult Season 3, we see his dead hand suddenly twitch as it comes back to life. Transformed, but into what exactly? Now, in my last theory, I thought that Roger could have been transformed into a second look-see monster, but after re-examining all the evidence, I'm not convinced anymore. The second look-see appears to be a female. Notice the bow shape that's on her head, which doesn't really match up with Roger. But more importantly, this new look-see was actually introduced before the finale of Sunny Family Cult went up on the channel. Additionally, during all these lead-up scenes, we see repeated flashes of all the other existing monsters in the Cryptiverse. The Looksee, the Birch, Mordeo, even the then unknown Soot, who would be revealed in the very next main upload. So why would the Looksee be in these flashes if Roger was just gonna transform into the Looksee after he already existed with other monsters? And it's confusing, you know? No, the simpler answer here is that the ritual wasn't to create another one of an existing monster, it was to welcome in someone new, to give rise to a new creature. And wouldn't you know it, the next main upload onto the channel would be, of course, The Door in the Woods, the video that introduces us to Carrie and Crypt's newest, strongest creature, the Brute, a humanoid creature who walks around shirtless, like Roger, has symbols tattooed on him, like Roger, and is that a stab wound in the middle of his chest? Just like Roger. A monster that hadn't been seen or referenced in any tomes or tattoos or texts anywhere up to that point. Something entirely brand new, created from the ritual. Not only that, but he lives behind a door that just so happens to have the Sunny Family Cult symbol on it. A symbol that we know the cult tends to leave behind on doors when they've made a killing. I think then that this is the true nature of the Brute. It's Roger. It is Roger that has been transformed via this ritual. And that, my friends, is my prediction for where all of this is headed. And honestly, it's why I'm so excited to see what this new Girl in the Woods series has in store for us. Because not only are you starting with the solid premise of a girl fighting to redeem herself for the mistakes of her past against literal hellspawn using a hidden blade, but based on the fact that we're already seeing the monster tome in the trailer, buried in this season of streaming could be references, Easter eggs, and connections to the widest and coolest monsterverse that's ever been put to screen. Will we get to see what the Plane of Torment is actually like? Will the Sunny Family Cult make a surprise appearance in front of the door? Maybe a brief glimpse of a look-see or the Birch somewhere in the woods? Could we get more clues to either confirm or deny the mysterious origins of the deadly Brute? Honestly, I don't know. But what I do know is that I am dying to find out. But hey, that's just a theory. A film theory. And cut.